Good morning, I'm Diane Macedo. Thanks for streaming with us. In today's update, the House of Representatives will vote today on whether to remove Georgia Congresswoman and QAnon supporter Marjorie Taylor Greene from her congressional committee assignments. Greene is facing criticism for supporting bizarre conspiracy theories about school shootings and 9/11. But House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy is defending Greene, saying privately she has denounced some of her past comments.
I think it would be helpful if you could hear exactly what she told all of us, denouncing QAnon. I don't know if I say it right. I don't even know what it is.
Meanwhile, Congresswoman Liz Cheney will keep her leadership position after some fellow Republicans tried to have her removed for voting to impeach former President Trump. There are some hopeful signs in the coronavirus crisis. Hospitalizations in the U.S. are the lowest they've been since November. So far, more than 27 million Americans have been vaccinated, and a new study in the UK is testing the effectiveness of mixing COVID-19 vaccines. Participants will be given 1 dose of the Oxford-AstraZeneca vaccine and 1 dose of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. If the approach works, it could help get more people vaccinated faster. The new jobless claims report shows nearly 780,000 Americans applied for unemployment last week. The number shows continued improvement, but jobless claims are still well above pre-pandemic levels. 17.8 million Americans are currently claiming some kind of unemployment benefits. And Democrats in Congress are preparing to push through a COVID relief bill without Republican support, but President Biden is still pursuing a bipartisan deal. Biden is negotiating with Republicans over stimulus payments and the level of state and local aid in the bill. On GMA this morning, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen stressed how critical she believes this aid is to the economy.
This is really an urgent need, and we need to act big. We have to make sure that we provide a bridge so that people aren't scarred indefinitely by this crisis.
Now, Yellen did not directly answer if the administration would pass a bill without bipartisan support. Now, just 3 days from the Super Bowl, we're learning new details of how a team barber testing positive for COVID-19 almost sidelined 2-star players. Meanwhile, Tom Brady is staying focused while preparing for the game at home. Will Reeve is in Tampa with the latest.
Just 3 days away from Super Bowl 55, the source of the Chiefs' COVID scare now revealed. ESPN reporting a team barber got a positive test result while in the middle of a haircut Sunday. Backup center Daniel Kilgore in the chair when the results came through. More than 20 other players and staff were waiting to get cuts, including superstar Patrick Mahomes. Kilgore making light of the situation, tweeting this photoshopped update to his team headshot. But now both he and Demarcus Robinson are on the COVID-19 reserve list. Neither have tested positive, and if they continue to test negative, they can play on Sunday.
Our contact tracing team was on site and was able to get a very clear understanding of the exposures. And so at this point, we feel like we're in a good position with that.
Meanwhile, in Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers preparing to be the first team ever to play a Super Bowl in their home stadium. Another milestone for legendary quarterback Tom Brady, who's making his 10th Super Bowl appearance. Brady says he's focused alone at home.
My family's been out of town for the last 6 days. They're not coming back in town until Saturday. So I really had an empty house for, will be 12 days leading up to the game. That's the most prep I've ever had. Could really focus on what I need to do from a football standpoint.
With the house to himself, Brady says he has even more time to watch game film to get ready for the Super Bowl. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes getting ready for the Super Bowl as well. Also getting ready to be a dad. His fiancee Brittany due with a baby girl quite soon. Mahomes said he told her to try to hold off until after the big game. Diane?
That would be something. Will Reeve in Tampa, thank you. And history will be made on Super Bowl Sunday as Tampa takes to the field with 2 women full-time assistant coaches. The women say they are proud to make history, but they are focused on one thing, winning the big game. Here's KAYNA Whitworth with their story.
The world sees them breaking barriers.
Position flex, high motor, 3-down value.
And they do it without breaking focus.
I just don't want to be a disruption. I want to be an addition. I want to be of value, but I don't want the exceptions. I don't want the special treatment.
We're not just happy to be here. We're continuing to prepare to win.
Bucs coaches Lori Locust and Maral Javadifar making history this Sunday. The first time an NFL team will have 2 full-time assistant coaches that are female.
It's the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. What are you going to say to yourself before you walk on the field?
do my job. I can't allow that outside pressure or distraction to influence anything that I do here.
Eyes up, eyes up, eyes up.
Coach Lowe started playing semi-pro football at age 40, then began coaching, working her way up to the NFL.
You spent years trying to get in the NFL while raising two sons. Now that you're coaching in the Super Bowl, how do you look back at that time?
It allows me to appreciate being here a lot more because I know what it took to get here.
Javatifar, known as MJ, a college athlete herself, earning a doctorate in physical therapy. Her expertise in body mechanics, a perfect fit for the Bucs. Her parents fleeing Iran after the revolution, hoping for a brighter future in America.
Now that you are coaching on the world's biggest stage, what did they say?
My dad and my mom were both in tears, and happy tears. They were extremely ecstatic.
So the NFL says that 47% of their fans are women. Seeing you on the sidelines is a visual reminder to them that there is a place for them in this game.
It goes back to having equal opportunity for all, and that is our ultimate goal.
To me, if there's going to be any influence, it would be women that are my age saying not what if, but why not.
Diane, in searching for the win, head coach Bruce Arians looked past gender and color, hiring the most diverse staff in the history of the NFL. 3 black coordinators, a black assistant head coach, and 2 full-time coaches that are female.
It's a great story. KAYNA Whitworth, thanks for that. And now to Atlanta, Georgia, where a mother-to-be says her baby is coming any day and her fiancé is stuck in Peru. It's a growing problem with the pandemic bringing many routine immigration matters to a near halt. For this couple, it's been a months-long battle, now forcing them to face the prospect of welcoming their first child while they are countries apart. ABC's Maggie Rulli has their story.
In Atlanta, Georgia, 27-year-old American Abby Matson's putting the final touches on the nursery for her first child, a boy to be named Isaac. She thought her Venezuelan fiancé, Alejandro, would be by her side as they prepare for the biggest moment in their lives. Instead, he's in Peru, where we first met the couple in July of last year.
We had a lot of hope that we would both be able to come and be in the United States together for the birth of our child. Now I'm 39 weeks pregnant, so the baby can really come any day. And I'm here in the US and Alejandro is in Lima. And we actually haven't seen any forward progress with his visa application.
With time ticking, the couple was forced to make a heartbreaking decision. Abby left for the U.S. in October to have the baby in the States, while Alejandro continues to wait out the visa process in Peru.
Right when I was going through security, and I was by myself, I felt like I wanted to cry. And then I just remembered, no, I'm going to do this for my son.
No fue fácil porque estaba como la responsabilidad de decidir si ella quedarse o ir. Fue difícil, pero el decidir que se fuera era lo mejor porque yo no estaba pensando en mí mismo.
This is just a snapshot of the kind of life-changing choices U.S. citizens and their loved ones all over the world are weighing as the COVID-19 pandemic continues to upend immigration operations. Temporary closures of consulates and embassies, COVID restrictions in waiting rooms, and reduced staffing are all adding to a backlog of cases and longer wait times for anxious applicants.
By May of last year, the overall number of visas, both temporary and permanent, declined by approximately 95%. So there was a precipitous decline in the total number of visas that were issued.
A State Department spokesperson telling ABC News, U.S. embassies and consulates are working to resume routine visa services on a location-by-location basis. However, the pandemic continues to severely impact the number of visas our embassies and consulates abroad are able to process. We do not expect to be able to safely return to pre-pandemic workload levels until mid-2021 at the earliest. According to the immigration law group Boundless, the processing time for a fiancé visa like Alejandro's would typically take 6 to 9 months before the pandemic. But in Peru, a surge of COVID cases could complicate that timeline. With a new wave of tough restrictions currently in place, Lima, where Alejandro lives, is facing the highest level of lockdown. Residents only permitted to go outside for 1 hour each day, and the embassy there closed until about mid-February.
I really understand the measures they're trying to take for health and safety reasons. Then we get to another moment like this where the U.S. Embassy is closed in Lima. It is a little bit frustrating because now that option to push paperwork through isn't available.
The timing could not be worse. As we checked in with the couple over multiple days, we learned an outbreak of COVID-19 hit the home where Alejandro was staying. He updated us over the phone.
I feel good. Well, the truth, we have been well. Experiencing some difficulties like, some people are not well, feeling some symptoms, but working together, mutually helping each other to not fall into a depression because of the virus, supporting each other.
What's the hardest part being away from him right now, especially knowing that he's with people that are sick and could potentially get sick himself?
Yeah, I just think the hardest part about being away is the unknowns. I don't know if he's going to get sick, or I don't know if he has everything he needs.
After the call, Abby told us that Alejandro has developed possible COVID symptoms. She says his home lacks basic medical supplies, medicine, and regular access to clean water. The couple filed several requests to expedite his case before the outbreak, but all were rejected.
But I understand that you may have maxed out on expedited visas. What does that mean?
They said that they were denying my most recent request, the 11th one, and they said, we will not grant any subsequent requests. And so when I got that email, I felt a little discouraged. I'm still looking for other ways to get Alejandro here as soon as possible.
While the State Department announced in August 2020 that it would prioritize fiancé visas, called K-1 visas, couples like Abby and Alejandro have yet to hear word on where they stand in the process, over 7 months since they filed. Experts say that transparency may increase under the Biden administration.
One of the things that we certainly expect is for the new administration to work to change the culture within the agency, and hopefully that will translate into a greater level of customer service and communication, especially when there are equities at play that include families being separated, right? Including when there is a young child that is on the way.
Though Alejandro won't be in Atlanta for the birth of their son, he says they don't regret their decision to be apart for the sake of their baby.
When the thoughts come of how, for example, it is impossible for you to be here or to be able to come, or it has been very difficult for me to be able to be supportive of you from here. But yes, the process is totally worth it. I have no doubt about it.
And Abby remains hopeful that there is a bright future for all three of them in America.
It might be hard for us right now to be apart, but I have to believe that something incredible will happen in the future, and I have to believe that my son can have a better life in the U.S. and can have a better life if he's a citizen.
Maggie Rulli, ABC News, London.
Amazing how positive they're staying through all of that. Maggie Rulli, thank you for that report. And that does it for this ABC News Live update. I'm Diane Macedo. ABC News Live is here for you all day with the latest news, context, and analysis. I'll see you back here at 3 p.m. Eastern with Terry Moran for the breakdown.
We stand on the shoulders of Shirley Chisholm. And Shirley Chisholm stood proud. She was forceful, she was brilliant, she spoke truth to power, and she was a great American leader.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.